Hey guys, I'm here today to explain how you can set a timeout in your workflow and why this is important. Consider timeout a time you have to execute a workflow. For example, I have a dump workflow here where I click to start and wait um, 50 minutes. But something just here. To configure the timeout, I go here, I save the first time, the workflow, and after that I have the option settings. And I go here, I enable, I click here to enable the timeout and I set 5 seconds. Let me save to show the example, and before that I will explain the motivation to set timeout. Execute. So you have an execution running here. The workflow will spend 15 seconds. So if you notice here, uh, the workflow execution was canceled. Why? Because I configured the timeout for 5 seconds. So I have 5 seconds to execute this workflow. For this workflow execution, I have 5 seconds. But here, I need more than 15 seconds because I'm waiting for, I, need, I set here to wait for 15. What's the motivation behind a timeout? Imagine you have a chatbot or automation where someone send a message and you process that and use AI to send a response back via WhatsApp, Telegram, whatever. Okay, and if you don't set a timeout and something happened and the execution start to take so long, you need to figure out. Okay, you have a VPS running a N8N, so you have a limited resource. So if you take so long for one specific execution, this execution is allocate. This execution allocated the CPU memory for do what for execute this execution like this example here. So it's important you set a limit because imagine you start to receive a lot of interaction in this chatbot and some of these automation, some of these executions take so long. The chance you crash the VPS because you have some resources allocating the CPU and memory, and you have a lot of demand, and you need more resource, but you have a limited resource in your VPS, can cause a crash. So to prevent this, for example, let me say you have a a more bigger workflow than that, of course, for a chatbot automation. And a normal workflow spent 30 seconds. So I can go here and set. If it's spent, I don't know, to guarantee I will run the great part, I can say, for example, okay, I need 30 seconds. Let me be play safe here. That put 1 minute. After 1 minute, I stop the execution because that way I can guarantee if this automation or to answer something the user asking failed and spend more than 1 minute means has something wrong. So let me finish this for uh, uh, free up the VPS resource for another execution and prevent a problem. That is that's it. My point here. This is why I consider timeout as a good stuff because you can prevent has a lot of has a lot of resource allocated where I don't have a time to finish sometimes can happen because you interact with some API where don't have uh, start to suffer a lot of pressure, so take a long time to answer and can impact you. So the timeout can prevent you crash your N8N or worst, prevent you crash all the VPS and need to start everything. So this is why timeout is important, not because your workflow, not to protect only your workflow, to protect your workflow from other services. For example, APIs, because sometimes you interact with OpenAI API, Gemini API, or other APIs. And if this API is start to take so long to answer, uh, your automation probably will wait the response to do something. So the timeout is a safe way, is a strategy to protect you to take so long and allocate a lot of resource from your VPS. That's it. I hope everyone can use this to protect your end-to-end automations from this kind of problem. And if you need some help, uh, you don't know how to set up this, uh, con- I put my contacts down below in the description, so um, you can contact me, send an email or something like that. So to keep updated, subscribe my channel and click the thumbs up to help me and share with a community or someone you consider this information helpful. So, bye bye.